Welcome to Studio 889. I'm DJ Mo Wilks. I have the extreme pleasure of welcoming our next guest. She has a local connection to the Boston area, having attended Berklee College of Music right down the street. She has multiple albums to her credit, 8 studio, 2 live. One of my favorites is Radio Music Society, which earned a Best Jazz Vocal Album Grammy, multiple awards, including War Grammys, an NAACP Award, Soul Train Music Award, City Winery Stage. This September 4th through 6th will welcome her trio performance. Welcome to Studio 889, Esperanza Spalding. How are you?
Thank you. Grateful to be here. Thank you for that glowing intro.
Oh, you're very welcome. Hopefully your summer season has been going well and good for you.
Yeah, super busy. Super full. Whoa, this is an intense summer. I'm welcoming the little inklings of autumn, calming, the cooling. I'm ready for that.
Good to hear. I mean, hopefully creation takes a holiday for you sometime.
I don't need creation to take a holiday. It's whenever you commit to do work in community or work with, other groups of people, challenges, conflict, renegotiations will emerge. And I think that is a really rich dimension of creative devotion and discipline. It's like bringing your creativity to bear on those kinds of challenges or puzzles. And this summer has just brought many of them in a lot of different sectors of my life. But I don't think that utilizing creative force is something you ever take a break from. I mean, you're dreaming and you're being creative.
That's true.
Go to make a meal in the morning, you're being creative. The way you engage with your kids, whatever they're getting into, that's a form of creative expression. So it's not a break from creativity. It's just, moving through the density sometimes that's required to arrive at the things that we want to make manifest. And I'm not complaining. I'm grateful. And I can feel in my body and my voice and my mind, it has been a tiring summer. But that's what it takes sometimes to make what we want.
Thank you for sharing that. Looking forward to September 4th and 5th and 6th. Taking you back just briefly, you arrived in the Boston area around the age of 17, and you have family members who actually have a musical background, right?
Yes. I mean, my mother grew up in an era where everybody could, lots of people played piano, they'd you'd have a piano in the house and people would play. I don't think she grew up with a piano, but I think she had relatives who played piano. But she wasn't a professional musician. Nobody in my immediate family is a professional musician. But I did find out in 2018 that Avery Sunshine, the husband and wife duo, are my cousins. The husband is my cousin. So that's my closest direct relative that's a musician.
Wow. That's funny. I was just actually talking about Avery Sunshine literally just yesterday.
Yeah. Dana Johnson is my cousin.
Oh, wow. A possible collaboration maybe in the future. You never know, right?
Definitely.
All right. So, why the bass? I mean, I heard that you had picked up the violin for a while and you got kind of connected to classical music, some Bach cellos and stuff like that on bass, but you didn't decide to pick up the cello. Why the bass?
It's the foundation. It feels like a place to be at home functionally. The function of the bass, I recognized early on I would be good at it, and that was encouraging. B, I had so many more opportunities to play on that instrument than I'd ever had in my whole life up to that point, playing other instruments. So it was the instrument itself and the way that it exists in music was bringing me out to be in collaboration, relationship, learning, community. And my spirit was really hungry for that at that time. And then now as I, continue to grow and mature as a bass player, I come to appreciate more and more just the the beauty and the appeal of its function. It is creating the frame, the ground, the foundation for all that will happen. It's a curious bridge between the rhythm, the pulse, the beat, and the harmonic world. It's the bridge. It has to do both. It can do either. It can do both. It's also just really powerful. I enjoy the power of, moving a pulse in this direction or that direction. And I tend to hear things in what they call counterpoint. Like I tend to hear a song or anything. I tend to first hear it as like a relationship between the bass and the voice, that counterpoint. And I love music that does that. That's what I love about Charlie Parker. That's what I love about Bach. Their ability to, with a singular line, show you the harmonic colors and the rhythmic pulse.
Now you make me want to go back and listen to Bach as well as Charlie Parker.
Yeah, they're very connected.
To bass.
Yeah. Well, they're connected to each other, and they're also connected with bass. It's how you use a single line. So you can't play any chords. You don't have multiple drums. How you use a single, something moving linearly. Give the full picture of the harmonic texture, color, and the rhythmic pulse. That's it.
So you're definitely so very much in tune with that. Chopping it up with vocalist, bassist Esperanza Spalding. We'll be at City Winery September 4th through 6th. I don't know where that 7 came from. You're so in-depth and really connected to your instrument and performing. It's hard for me to believe there was at one point you almost quit the music. True?
Well, there's a lot of elements of this thing called being a professional musician that are just tiresome and distracting from the love of making things with people. And the time that I was compelled to stop pursuing music as my profession, I was just feeling fatigued by the adults around me and the model of, or the expressed model of, what you got to do to be a professional musician. I remember just thinking like, I'm not going to do that. Like, that's not interesting. What? I don't want all my time and energy eaten up, like doing the stuff around making music with people. And I felt really passionate about being able to contribute in a direct and meaningful way to the repair of so many things that are just effed up, in our communities, in our societies, in our political systems, in our economic systems, in our education systems, in our healthcare systems.
There's a lot.
In our resource utilization. So, I was just like, this feels so silly that I got to spend 5 hours a day shedding these Coltrane changes. I'm like, what? Who cares? Coltrane already played the changes. Why do I have to spend 5 hours of my day doing what? People are hungry, and so I just felt a little disillusioned and unimpressed with the whole, saturation of the responsibilities of a professional musician. And then, but I also was trained and raised to listen to my elders. So when I was probably 19 or 20 at that time, and Pat Metheny and others, but Pat Metheny is the most well-known person, was like, no, I think you have a special thing. And if you decide to run with it, you'll go really far. And I heard that, and I also didn't have any other plans to go to a poli-sci program immediately. So I stayed with the music, and I'm discovering that there's this abstract phenomena whereby people connect to your creative output, your creative discipline, and it builds a kind of trust and a gateway for relationship or connection that has actually, I think, put me in positions where I can contribute really directly on matters, circumstances that I feel passionate about. And that's, I guess, the humor. I guess that's like the humor and the beauty. Essentially, whatever path you choose to take, like doing it wholeheartedly and thoroughly, it will make pathways for you to serve or show up to the other things that are important to you. It's like
Right.
what you need is the skill set of how to develop something thoroughly, whatever
Right.
you're going to do. So no matter which way you go, you're developing that muscle. And then oddly, the most important thing for collaboration and contributing and showing up in community is the ability to build relationship and trust. And strangely, it's like I see this curious carryover, not just with me, but like other folks, where the discipline or something you've already put in one area.
You can transfer that to
Yeah,
something
you can kind
else.
of and you also weirdly transfer the trust. That I'm like,
Mm.
okay, you're saying
Because
you're,
you put that work in and it shows,
yeah, I
that you're
guess. I
dedicated
don't
to
know.
that craft or that particular endeavor.
Yeah. Someone's like, all
Okay.
right, well, if you're serious about that, maybe you're also serious about this other thing you're serious about.
you,
So
you showed the
I,
discipline.
yeah, or something. It's mysterious, but I'm writing it. And just grateful for the ways that even though I did go, head down, headlong, all the way into the music thing,
Hmm.
I have been able to connect with initiatives and organizations and communities and contribute my energy and resource, whether that's creative input or connections or whatever, to supporting the work of helping people.
So you might have had those, what you thought were those other aspirations, but you're still able to kind of connect and fulfill them through what you're doing with the art and what you're bringing to humanity as well.
Ah, yeah. And also something about we all don't have to be holding every skill area or
No.
expertise. And I have had incredible experiences and I think really impactful collaborations with folks who did go the poli-sci route or did go the
Okay.
route or did go the whatever, music therapy or public health or whatever. It's actually been very beautiful to get to drop in with people who have spent their life in that discipline and share my reverence for their work and connect at wherever the bridges are between my way of doing things or worldview and their way of doing things and worldview. So that's really valuable too.
Very nice. Talking with Esperanza Spalding. Um, I usually have this kind of question. It's called a B-side question. So like for every particular record, there's like a B-side, which is something that's not, not necessarily as well known, but I'm going to put it in the form of one of your songs, Stride Grease. So share, if you will, how do you replenish or maintain yourself not to get burned out? What's Esperanza Spalding's positive plus or stride grease?
I love that. Napping,
Okay.
learning or acknowledging early when someone I need to be able to delegate to is not reliable.
Mhm.
Like that sounds so basic and like so like people management, but it's actually really huge. Creative thinkers can often only see the potential in someone and get really excited about that and want to connect with that or invest in that. And I've discovered that for me to stay focused on the parts of my work I need to do, it's critical that I can delegate other kinds of tasks and be able to know without a question that it will be tended. Like once it's clear the ask and I delegate it, it'll be handled. And I think for many, many years, I would be stuck on my story of what the potential was in a colleague
Hmm.
or an employee or a collaborator. And at this point, it's can feel kind of rough. It can feel a little harsh sometimes but just being able to acknowledge, like, cool, I have the feedback I need to assess whether or not this is a colleague or employer, whatever, that I can reliably delegate to. And if they're not, I gotta let them go. They're so wonderful and amazing, and maybe we'll collaborate on something else. But in the realm of I need to be able to delegate to you, and it's out of my brain, and you'll just come back with it done. Just being kind of stern about that for the sake of protecting my wellness and the work that you need me to do. You don't need me to circle back around and check that the spreadsheet was done. Like, you don't need that from me. My listeners don't need that from me. That's not what they need me to be spending my hours on. So just taking the protection of my kind of priority areas of discipline, really taking that seriously and protecting it by who I keep around me in my workspace. Obviously, this doesn't apply to like cousins and friends, you know.
That's a discipline, because delegating to other people is hard, because you want it to, if you have it in your mind in a certain way that you want it to be, accomplished. I'm learning that skill. Trust me, it's not the easiest. So I applaud you for being able to do that.
Yeah, I mean, that's part of the dance of it all too. The few areas where I have the few areas that I have agency over, like the notes I choose, the arrangement, who I'm gonna call for the recording session, the lyric, what I do with my voice. Like, I will take advantage of all those spaces of total agency.
Okay.
For everywhere else, when it comes to delegating, I feel it's on a big part of the onus is on the person delegating to make sure what you're asking for is clear. Set up pathways where people feel very comfortable asking for clarity if they don't understand. And I feel a big place that like rubs and rifts happen in the work zone is if folks feel like they can't ask for clarity, and they feel like, oh my gosh, I got to be able to do this right, even if I don't.
Perfectly. Yeah.
Yeah. So coming to shared understanding of what finished looks like, or what good enough looks like, on the front end. And then the first few times, if something doesn't match up, having that courage to be with the discomfort of giving feedback. That maybe it's like, okay, a little less of this, a little more of that. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
That's what I mean by, when you're just starting to work with somebody, that early investment is really valuable long-term. And then it's still on you as a leader or a director or an employer to be willing to let yourself register the feedback of like, oh yeah, this is definitely working. We're humming. We're like finding more understanding. It's getting better and better. Or, I consistently, keeps happening where we said we understood it. There was shared agreement on the timeline and the deliverables, and it didn't happen. I'm noticing a pattern. Then it's like, at a certain point, you gotta
provide the feedback, but that way you learn each other's kind of like, regular speaking language or working language. I'm sure it kind of translates to your musical language too. All right, maybe you're riffing a little bit too much here, or I don't know what kind of, you can speak to.
I'm just talking about, I run a nonprofit. I run a nonprofit, and I run my production company, like I don't have a manager, for 12 years now, 11 years. So it's like running a business, running, these words sound so weird, but I guess steering or leading, or, I have an amazing team of people that I work with in my artistic life, like my team. And I get to work with an amazing group of people at the nonprofit in Portland, Oregon, Prison Mid Sanctuary. And the things that I'm taught, and also being a band leader is like running a small little business too. And I've been privileged to learn from having great employers, whether that's a band leader or in my teaching jobs, having great supervisors, having great front offices, great colleagues. I've been working alongside highly skilled professionals who are just, they model for me what great collaboration, clear instructions, clear, feedback looks like. And I'm getting better and better at actually honoring that wisdom and that teaching in whether I'm teaching, which means you are interfacing with a system, with your
Mm-hmm.
students, with the administration, with the institution, with
Mm-hmm.
teaching, whatever, whether it's leading this, founding and leading this nonprofit, which at the beginning entails building a team and really setting the culture of how we work with each other. That's going to evolve over time based on who's there, of course. Or whether it's, deciding how to put a tour together or how to prep for the album release. And again, these all feel like dimensions of the like creative process. It all involves creative thinking and visioning, and just like when you're in the studio, finding the way to describe the thing you're hearing, and or creating enough of a frame, having clarity about shared ownership or shared steering, that the folks you've invited in the room feel empowered and invited to put their spin on it, to make it their thing. This is the whole, I'm speaking to these different nodes on a three-dimensional spectrum, of what it is to make things with people, to do things
Mm-hmm.
with people. Um,
Mm-hmm. Oh God, I just had like maybe two more questions about your trio.
I mean, they're amazing and wonderful. It's I think Matt Stevens, who's kind of a local, and Eric Dube, and just I actually went to college with them and have been knowing them for over 20 years. And we just make wonderful music together. And we're going to be doing things from all of the records, a little something from every record, except for the Fred Hirsch record. Other than that, all the records. But I do have to hop away. I'm sorry. But it was nice to meet you. Meet you. I hope I'll see you at the concert.
Definitely see you at the concert. Thank you so much for your time, Esperanza. Really appreciate you. So in closing, thanks to artist, bassist, vocalist Esperanza Spalding. She's going to be over at City Winery, Boston, Friday, September 4th through Sunday, September 6th in a live trio performance. Information is available at citywinery.com. To quote another one of my favorite songs from her, she's definitely black gold. And to lean in and borrow another song lyric, I wish her to keep please living her life like it's golden. And I believe she will, to continue to uplift humankind with art and music.
Thanks for the interview. Take
All
care.
right. You take
Bye.
care. Thanks again, Esperanza Spalding. For Studio 889, I'm Mo Wilks. Thanks for listening.